Then to Henman, who played a better game of returning, but Rafter certainly a little bit tentative on his volleys, and the family will be pretty pleased with this, I think.
Rafter's serve, the ball toss slightly left. It gives him that kick. See how high the ball bounces? It allows him to get into the net quickly. That was a very good return. And just a roll of the wrists and elbow. That's Tim Henman's favourite forehand shot.
And the slip not mattering. Hasn't slipped up on his serve at all, Henman. He's been serving well, and this whole crowd here most enthusiastic.
Love.
It's one of the tough shots in the game, a high forehand volley.
30 love.
Well, I think that has been officially ruled an ace, but I thought I heard the racket snick the ball of Rafter.
Henman leads by 4 games to 2, second set.
And the interesting thing here is look at the percentage of first serves in, 75% from Henman. Anything above 60% for a hard server is good, but 75% is almost incredible. No wonder he's winning his serve with ease.
Only lost 1 point on his serve in this set so far.
Love 15.
Well, perhaps the pressure of this man's game is beginning to affect Rafter. Second double fault.
all.
Well, Rafter's trying to get his first serve in. That serve was only 99 miles an hour. Getting in quickly after it.
Quick as a cat at the net.
Good, first service.
After repeating the dose to that second call, 97 miles per hour.
Net, first service. Ball change, please. Henman leads by 4 games to 3, second set, and by 1 set to love.
Well, now, if you were the captain of Pat Rafter in the Davis Cup tie, sitting beside him right now, what would you be discussing with him?
I would certainly, the first thing I'd be doing is looking at trying to win some more points on the serve, on Henman's serve. Therefore, changing position of where you're standing. After you've had a set and a half and you haven't even got you've hardly won a point on a first serve, you've got to seriously think about changing your tactics. You cannot, at the end of the match, go, oh, gee, you know, he just served so well. Your next match, I'll move back. You know, this is Wimbledon here. You've got to get out there and say, okay, it's not working. Oh, it's been a set and a half. After, you know, I've hardly returned more than 2 balls in a row for 9 service games. I've got to do something about it.
Time.
So that would be the first thing. But of course, yeah, Rafter's having a bit of trouble on his serve as well.
Oh. 15 love. $30 love. Oh.
That was
30-15.
Fantastic moving from Rafter. He took the serve inside the baseline there and finally got connecting on one of those second serves. Got it down low, and then what a great touch to get over Henman's head.
Look where he's standing for the first serve.
To 15. Whoa. 40-30. Henman leads by 5 games to 3, second set.
This match being played at a hectic pace, 52 minutes, nearing the end of the second set.
Well, to be honest, haven't really put enough pressure on each other's serves. Apart from a couple of breaks, all the games are gone pretty quickly.
$15 love. $30 love.
Return of
30-15.
Return of serve here is beautifully judged so that the defensive reply is easily placed down into the corner.
(40-15). (40-30).
Going for a big second serve at 106 miles an hour. Bit risky.
Game rafter. Henman leads by 5-4. Second set and by 1 set to love.
Well, Pat Rafter, of course, had the great US Open win. And his serve is more effective on hard court because of that kick serve that I was talking about earlier. He does get a lot of bounce on the hard courts and not so much on the grass. Now, Rafter's favourite serve really is a 3/4 pace kick ball, either into the body or out to the backhand. Now, if the ball is not bouncing off the court very high or as high, he can get himself in a little bit of trouble. And the way he's adapted around that is just being so quick into the net and around the net that even if a player does get onto it, he's up the net and ready to hit the volley anyway.
Time.
Yeah.
But it does put a lot of pressure on your serve if the guy's consistently hitting good returns.
Lisa Hill there in the front row, Tim's girlfriend, and Ma and Pa are there too. Anthony and Jane.
Love 15.
Well, this is Rafter's most important point for Pat Rafter yet. And been served a double fault. If he can get this point, he's got a chance of breaking. Well, it's
30.
Not a bad serve. It's his favourite serve under pressure. Rafter hits a good return. And Tim trying to change direction quickly and a bit of a slip.
(15-30).
This is the moment for steady nerves.
(15-40).
Well, throughout his career, we've seen these little moments of lapse.
So far this tournament, he's been able to get out of them. Let's see what he can do here.
(30-40).
There it is.
Game. Rafter. 5 games all. Second set.
Breaks for the first time in the match. Courtesy, again, 2 double faults. It's been the story of Henman's year.
Love. All. 30-15. Game rafter. Rafter leads by 6 games to 5. Second set, first set, henman.
So the chance that Rafter created or was presented with the 2 double faults, he took handsomely with that last winning return of serve to break Henman's serve. But it seemed to me that there have been too many chances that have been wasted. The standard of returning of serve particularly hasn't been good.
It's certainly been a patchy match so far. A lot of unforced errors from both players. Not too many passing shots. Yeah, Tim hit a couple of great ones to break Rafter's serve. But there's been a lot of unforced errors, and I think that's got a lot to do with nerves and being under pressure here, and the pressure of the situation. You know, you've got a chance to get in the quarterfinal of Wimbledon, and Rafter hasn't gone that far before, and Tim obviously wants to keep his great run going.
Time.
And they've both been playing, and they haven't found their rhythm, I think is the right way to say it.
Love.
See how high that second serve got up? It was a bit short, but it had a lot of kick on it, a lot of bounce. Rafter probably could have hit that.
Love.
Nice one, right?
Hit. Love.
Being given a very easy ride on this service game. What a contrast to the previous one.
Game on. 6 games all, tie break.
Circumstances alter cases. Just
Rafter
now,
to
when he
serve.
was serving for the set, couldn't get the first ball in, 2 double faults. And when he is serving without the pressure to make it 6-all, he plays a good service game, and Rafter missing all his returns. Into the tie-break.
Zero, Rafter. One all.
Only the second tie-break he's played at these championships. He won his first one, first set of the first round.
Henman.
Played safe, went into the body, didn't want to serve a double fault, and boy, they got up right up to Rafter's face there. Couldn't keep the ball down.
For Rafter, this is a 4th tie-break of these championships. He's leading 2-1 at the moment.
Out. 3-2, Rafter.
Let's have a look at this serve. Oh, yeah, come on.
So
Hits the chalk, of course. Sorry, when it hits the chalk, of course, the ball jumps up a little bit. Very hard to time the ball.
Cyclops got it right.
Oh, he was kind of wide there. Couldn't get much pace on that. Just got it back. And Rafter could have gone either way there. He's got the mini break.
Rafter.
So taking both points against the henman serve has put him in a very powerful position here.
Three, rafter. Rafter.
So henman going for broke there, and there wasn't much room down that line. Rafter was covering it, just misses. So 3 set points for henman, for Rafter.
Second set, Rafter. 7 games to 6. 1 set all.
And Rafter, full credit to him for taking his chance when it was presented to him. But you really have to look back to that game, the 10th game, when henman was serving for it, leading 5 games to 4.
Well, I think the difference, look at the henman first serves in. He was up to 75% during the first set, and he was as high as 70% at halfway through the second set, and he just didn't get enough first serves in at the latter part of that set, which enabled Rafter to have a go at his second serve. He's still got a very high success rate on his first serve, but he's just not getting enough in. And that's the difference.
Time.
Rafter is a very, very tough competitor. I mean, he never gives up. He's always in there, scrambling balls back. He's very quick, as we know. And even though he hasn't found his rhythm on the returns, he does enough to break. To stay in the set, and then plays some great backhand passing shots, returns in the tiebreaker when it counts the most.
Rafter thought that he was going to be serving, but of course he'd served first in the previous set, and after a tiebreak it changes.
Love.
Well, henman guessed that first one. And look how far behind him it was. He really had to hook that one back. And boy, he gets some angle. He had the angle to go with.
Thirty 15. 40-15. Game Henman. First game, third set, 1 set all.
Extraordinary the difference when the pressure is off. He plays a beautiful service game, finishing with an ace, and yet when he wanted it most, the slight inhibition caused the double faults and the errors, and he loses it. It has to be in the head.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly is. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, that's why they call it pressure, because he's under pressure. You got to be able to somehow come up with the goods, and players like Pete Sampras consistently come up with the goods. I mean, he does it every single match. He comes up with great shots, or doesn't even have to be great shots, because under pressure, as long as you're getting the ball back into court and not doing stupid things, playing percentages, you will win a greater percentage of those points by just playing tough tennis.
Time.
And double faults and dink volleys and stuff like that. You know, it's great when everything's going well, but under pressure they don't work. It's as simple as that. You know, can't do the risky shots, and your Rafter is very, very good at that. You know, he gets his first serves in, he gets in tight, and that's why he won that set.
Low 15.
Henman not ready, I think. Just holding him up.
The Rafter deciding to go for the volley as opposed to the half volley. And good play. Well, it really is two very good shots, very good volley. And it was just slow enough that he could hook that one across. Just had enough time to be able to get the end of the racket around the edge of the ball.
Henman leads by 2-2 third set.
And quite certainly the best returning game Henman has played today. Seeing the ball beautifully cleanly.
Love 15.
Crowded by Rafter's approach behind his return. Not a chip and charge that time, but a sort of block and charge.
Love 13.
After that first
15-30.
volley, he did start moving, creeping forward, and Rafter thought, have a go, but look, it's only to the service line, that lob. Not going to be good enough for a good jump from Tim Henman. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Stefan Edberg type of tactics. Good high bouncing kick serve and getting in. He was well inside the service line. Made that volley all that much easier. Well, I've got to say,
30-40.
that Rafter caught this ball completely late. Let's see how late he was just trying to get his racket on that. A bit of luck there. The ball just caught absolutely perfect. Perfectly late. Break point.
Deuce. Advantage Henman.
You've got two men playing here who both have the most remarkable reflexes in situations like that. Either man would have been capable of pulling off that reflex volley.
Deuce.
Become an important game, this, having just broken Rafter's serve and recovered from a break point down.
Well, it's probably the best
Advantage
return that
Rafter.
Rafter's hit so far. Followed up with a beautiful backhand across court. Gives him another break point.
Deuce.
He does play those big points well.
Well, it was good, tough tennis. Again, good high bouncing second serve. You know, his Rafter's having difficulty returning that high ones off the backhand. He gets in quickly. Let's see what he'll be doing here if he gets a second serve.
Advantage Henman. Deuce.
This is now the longest game of the match. Fourth deuce.
Advantage Henman.
Henman's percentage of first serves in has dropped to 57, which is why he's been struggling a little.
Well, Pat Rafter had to hook this ball back.
Deuce.
Go around the outside of the ball. There he goes, hooks it around and keeps curling back and back and back.
Advantage Rafter.
Well, Rafter's starting to have a go at these second serves. He's getting more, as JB, you were saying, and he's having a go at them. And sometimes you're a bit lucky that one clipped the line, but it's giving him another break point.
Deuce.
Very good first volley there. Such a moment when you've twice been break point down, and here's another one. You have to make something of it, and he did. Forcing the error from Rafter. So back to deuce for the fifth time. Excuse me, the sixth time.
Advantage Henman. Ball change, please. Henman leads by 3-0. Third set, 1 set all.
And this is the fifth ace he served today, and it couldn't have come at a better moment after all that pressure.
That's for sure. He's the key. It's very clear to see that the key for Tim at this moment in this match is his first serve. And you know, I suppose that's quite obvious that most players play well when they're serving well. And you know, obviously on grass, a serve volley, it's highly important. But it's I'll have a little look at all the points on serve. The first serve goes in 86% of the time. He's winning the point, and finally 49 on the second. So it's quite a large difference. Rafter's difference is not that much, but was what to do. Sitting down at the change of ends and thinking, what am I going to do? How do I get my first serving? This has really dropped a lot, hasn't it? 58%. Rafters has stayed pretty much the same the whole way along, and Henman's is fluctuating. Now I think he will probably have some ideas of when his serve's going off. His coach would have told him, you know, perhaps you're doing this or that, or he just keeps plugging away until they start coming good.
Love. 30 love.
Now he got in quickly here after. That was a good return. Just inside the service line. Off a very hard return. That's good moving.
Net, first service. Game rafter. Henman leads by 3 games, 2-1. Third set. Love 15.
Just ask the umpire to make an announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, please do not use flash cameras.
Yes, that's what he wanted him to say.
Thank you.
It does put the players off.
It's just getting a little dark here, and the automatic flashes are working. Beautifully, look at the balance of Henman here.
30.
Look at that, just absolutely perfect balance. Not too forward, not too back. That's the difference. Rafter is always leaning forwards, jumping into the ball. Henman's balance is much better.
Love 14.
Well, I wonder if he's limping. We are told that Pat Rafter has requested the physio, and the trainer will come on at the change of ends, presumably. But he's not played a very good service game here.
Net, first service.
And that very, very gentle serve.
Game, Henman. First game, third set. Henman leads by 2 sets to 1.
Well, that 8th double fault, conceding his serve in the opening game of the 4th set. The trainer appears and will try and pick up what the problems are. He wants to be stretched by the look of it. Well, we'll see what happens here. It looks as if it could be a back problem.
Medical timeout. Rafter. Starting now.
So altogether 4.5 minutes, 3 for the injury timeout, and a minute and a half on the change of ends. Just informing Henman what's happening. Bill Gilmore there has asked George Diaz there, the Portuguese umpire, if he's announced it to the crowd. Well, he has. He's told them about the injury timeout, so everyone knows what's going on. So he's got stiffness there in the left buttock by the look of it.
Well, it's either his hip or his back is playing up with that sort of stretching.
difficult to judge watching in replay
2 minutes
here,
remaining.
whether or not there is any obvious sign of distress, but certainly he must have felt slightly inhibited to have lost his serve relatively tamely, and he certainly wasn't able to hit the ball hard, Pat, in that first service game of the full set.
No, he's completely lost the rhythm in his serve altogether. There's ball tosses, he's having to catch them, and maybe
you might keep it to yourself, but you know, let people know.
Maybe he's that just affect his back or whatever it may be. It's just affecting his whole timing.
You have it switched on. Oh, good.
Well, there's a minute left of the injury timeout, which he took at the change of ends after the opening game of the fourth set, trailing 2-1. He lost his serve to Love, wasn't serving very fast, and it seemed to us that there was something troubling him, and then we heard that he'd called for the trainer.
So Pat Rafter with distinct problems, and here on BBC One, well, we've gone through neighbours, but we're now switching our coverage of this Tim Henman, Pat Rafter
set when he's obviously hobbling around.
I would suspect it is the back, Pat, from what you surmised, wasn't it? Because that would affect the serve. And the time has passed for the injury timeout. He's got to resume action or return. Nobody wants to see that.
Time.
Remains to be seen whether that break has disturbed the rhythm of Henman's game, which was flowing nicely towards the end of the third set.
Love.
Obviously had very little effect.
Net, first service.
Well, a lot of the crowd didn't hear the call of fault.
$15.
Well, he got hold of this one. Few and far between, actually. Very few and far between on the first serve of Henman. Well, he's made a couple of good returns. And then it's all of a sudden, he's got a break point.
Net. First service. Game, rafter.
Well, well, well. There's a reprieve for Rafter.
1 game all. 4 sets.
Well, the patchiness continues in these players' games today.
And the light is certainly failing here, as you can see by the contrast in the deep shadow at the top of the stand, one of the exits. No question of the light being too difficult to play.
$15 love. $30 love. $40 love. $40-15.
Well, Henman's going to concede that, I think you'll find. He knew it was in. Rafter knew it was in. The only one who didn't was the linesman.
Game, rafter.
Very sporting of Henman there, walking.
Ball change.